Yeah, so here's some basic information about Argentina. Liz mentioned that y'all studied Peru, so like you said, it's not very far from Peru. It's only south. But the capital is Buenos Aires, and that is the city that I visited when I was last year, actually. It's crazy. Last summer I visited. The country population, there's 44 million people in the country, and it's also the second largest in South America. And so you can see how that compares to Brazil, for example, is that other very large country to the north. And then something that always surprised me when I visited was that pink house you can see. So similar to the United States, this is White House where the executive branch um, processes happen. The same thing happens in the pink house. It's just I thought the color was pretty interesting that they painted it pink, and the United States is the White House. So yeah. Start. So we do, like I said, want to teach you certain phrases and words. So if you want to say movie in Spanish, it's película.
You said yesterday.
Película.
Now that.
So there's an example at the bottom. It says, like to watch movies.
When I went home,
in Spanish, it'd be me gusta ver película. So everybody, if you want to repeat the word after me, película. You wanted to say movie theater, like the place, then the word is cine. Bottom, person says, let's go to the movie theater. You would say, vamos al cine. So, for example, we have some examples of movies. So Argentina, they've won several Oscar awards for some of their drama live action movies. But they also, this picture that says El Apostol, that is one of the oldest animated movies ever. It came out in around 1917. And then you kind of fast forward to 2013, there's a movie in Spanish called Mete Gold, but in English it's called Underdogs. And we don't have to watch the whole trailer, but basically it is about this person who, I put it in English, it's a person who played foosball when he was a kid, and he beat like the best foosball player in their neighborhood. And so fast forward in time, that guy comes back and he decides to buy the whole town out of revenge. And so they have to, they basically just have to keep him from buying their town and messing it up. So we can see just a couple, I think it's about a minute.
Yes, sir. I'll be right with you. You're Jake, right? Sundays are great. What's your favorite?
Oh, I love whatever you love.
Laura's got a boyfriend! No, that boy Ace.
Well, if it isn't a star foosball player. What if it's me? Well, the real champion, if you insist. Ziggy sees his captain. He passes it over to Rico. He lines up a shot and boom, it's in! Goal!
Jake thought the bullying was over, but when his rival Ace returns after 7 years, the real battle begins.
Thank you, my little town.
Why do you refer to this place as your little town?
Because it's little, and it's mine. And destruction begins now.
To save his town,
I'm challenging you to a rematch.
You all man up, let's play real soccer.
If Jake wins, we get our town back from here.
he'll need a little help from some tiny friends.
Jake! Ta-da! Today's the first day of the rest of my life.
Yeah, an insane asylum.
The world's smallest heroes
I must be seeing things. Am I dreaming? We came to life for a reason.
We're gonna help game for you. Must defeat the world's greatest team.
I'll trust you.
So we can pause it now.
Oh, this is
Yeah, so that movie was originally in Spanish, but eventually came out a couple years later. And so some of the people who acted in it for the English version include Ariana Grande, Bella Thorne, Katie Holmes, and people like that. So many of you mentioned how you really enjoy Marvel movies. And when you go to Argentina, a lot of the movies actually you'll see come from the United States, and they just provide subtitles at the bottom. So for example, when I went to see Godzilla, it was in English, but they just had Spanish subtitles at the bottom. And this is the same for many other movies that come to the country. So that Marvel Endgame was very popular. And then if you can see that Monumental Theater picture, it has several movies that are from the United States as well, and they just provide it either with subtitles or it has been dubbed over in Spanish.
Language.
We might have missed this slide for here, but language part for the TV. But for Argentina, so if you wanted to say TV show, it's pretty long, but if you can see, it's pretty similar to the words television program in English. But in Spanish, usually the noun and the adjective are flip-flopped. So you'll see program is like the nouns that'll be in the beginning, and the television, you're kind of describing what it is. So it's a television program. So in Spanish, to sound it out, it's programa de televisión. So we can sound it out very slowly all together. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I heard somebody pronouncing it. So if you wanted to put that into a sentence, in English, Tom and Jerry is a good TV show. In Spanish, that is Tom y Jerry es un buen programa de televisión. It was very long, but it's pretty much the same as in English. It's just the words have been flip-flopped. So similar to in Bangladesh, soccer and football is also the most popular sport, and so many people will watch this on a day-to-day basis when the games are being played, and they take it very seriously. So, for example, if you were to go see one of the junior leagues, it's best to only support the team. If, like, for example, you go to a certain neighborhood and that team is popular there, it's not a good idea to just go in supporting the opposite team because they take their teams very seriously, and it's a lot of pride in the sport. And so another examples of television. So a lot of the shows, similar to like the movies, you'll find them watching shows produced in the United States that'll just have the subtitles in Spanish they can watch. Also, there is this thing, Disney Latin America. And so all the TV shows, Disney produces a lot of TV shows based in different Latin American countries, such as Argentina and Peru, and Mexico and other countries like that. And so this is an example of one of the Disney shows. It's called Bia. And this show has a lot of singing. You can actually find a lot of the clips from the show on YouTube, the Disney Latin America YouTube channel. You'll find a whole bunch of songs. So I won't say like High School Musical is out of y'all's time age bracket, but I won't say completely like High School Musical, but she does do a lot of singing. And then this clip we're going to watch, it's in Spanish, but it is by this lady who produced a lot of children's shows that teach people their language. It's similar to, for example, if you watched, I feel so old, Dora or things like that, where you'll have a song and it's able to help children learn the languages that they are surrounded by, so you can watch it. And it's basically just about a cow who, she's a grandma, but she decides that she wants to go to school. And so all the students in her class start misbehaving, and so she's the only one who actually learns anything from the class. And the teacher is very surprised that a cow wants to take. That could be cool. Yeah.
Había una vez una vaca en la guerra de un mamá. Como era muy vieja, estaba sorda de una oreja. Y a pesar de que ella era abuela, un día quiso ir a la escuela. Se puso unos zapatos rojos, guantes de tul y un par de anteojos. La vio la maestra asustada y dijo: estás equivocada. La vaca le respondió: porque no puedo estudiar yo. La vaca vestida de blanco se acomodó en el primer banco. Los chicos tirábamos tizas y nos moríamos de risa. La gente se fue muy curiosa.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, so she's the only one who learns anything in class despite her being. And speaking of music, so of course we have to teach you a couple phrases and terms. So music in Spanish is actually pretty similar to music in English. You just pronounce it slightly different, and then you have an A at the end. So in Spanish, it's pronounced música. The example that we have at the bottom is I like to listen to music. In Spanish, that is me gusta escuchar música. Another word that we have is singer, and that is cantante. Very good. So if you wanted to put that into a sentence, you can say she is a talented singer. Ella es una cantante talentosa. So cantante is singer and música is music. And some examples of music, actually. So most of the music that you find is popular, or the most popular, is actually coming from countries like Puerto Rico or Colombia. A lot of the countries throughout South America listen heavily to musicians from Colombia or Puerto Rico or Cuba, usually. But you do have examples of, for like music. So that band, it's 3 guys. They are a very famous rock band from Argentina called Soda Stereo. And the other 2, the young girls, I would say they're similar to Chloe and Halle in that they were first popular on YouTube and now they're making music, a music career out of that. Slide talks about, we mentioned earlier tango was a popular dance, but it is also a form of music. And so it's typically made from instruments such as the violin, piano, guitar. You'll hear some percussion, but one of the most notable instruments that you might hear is called the bandoneon. And now I'm actually glitching on the actual English word for that. I can't remember. But if you've ever seen that instrument, in Spanish it's called bandoneon, and you play it, like, I don't know if you can see me, but you kind of open and close it, and that's how the sound comes from. And so we'll listen to a little bit of what tango instrumental sounds like. So that's what tango music sounds like. I'm pretty sure you heard that violin is very noticeable, that aspect of the music. So yeah.